was Dorothy Myers, and I was born in 1960. And now I'm 97. I was born in a town in Saskatchewan, near Bigger, in 1916. And when I was 17, my father shipped me to Calgary because he was afraid I was going to marry this guy, and he didn't like it. He was only 17 like me, and I had no idea of ever marrying him. It was my dad's idea. At first I worked for a geologist in Calgary as a maid. He had 5 kids and a wife. And over the 5 years I worked for 2 others as well. I saved my money, maybe $20 a month, so that I could go to hairdressing school. When I had enough money, I went to Marcel School, right across from the bay. I think it cost $1,000 and took me 9 months. In 1938, I moved to Vulcan to start my own business. My first shop in Vulcan was in the Vulcan Hotel, right between the 2 offices of Dr. Almond and the lawyer Mr. Stack. There was only one shop in town, and it was owned by Hanson's. I don't imagine I was very popular with them at the time. I found out there was a little building across the street for rent, and I got in touch with the owner, and soon I had my own space. At first I shared it with a fellow who sold sacks of flour. Eventually I bought the building for about $800. I ran a little contest in my shop. As a result, it became known as the Modern Beauty Shop, and Mrs. McAfee got a perm for the suggestion. Each station had its own booth, and we didn't have a real barber shop, just an old kitchen chair. I didn't have any running water, and I had to carry it from a block away, and kept the water in a brass tank with a hose. I heated it on a coal oil stove and then lifted my on a shelf corner to let the water run down. The client just bent their head back, and I run the water over and shampooed their hair. Most of the people got a wash and set for about 75 cents. There was no curlers in those days, so after washing their hair, I would take a piece of hair and wrap it round my finger and pin it with a bobby pin. Then they would sit down under the dryer. The most expensive service was a perm, and the perm was $5, but would cost as much as $8. I purchased a permanent wave machine, and it cost me $50. It's a lot of money in those days. A permanent wave machine used a combination of chemicals and electrical heated clamps to achieve the curl. I got married to Elwood Myers in 1943. He was in the Navy for 5 years, and in 1946, after he got out of the services, we decided to go farming. So I sold my shop. I never worked as a hairdresser again, but I continued to do hair for my friend. Eventually I sold my shop with a couple of girls from Calgary, which cost $1,000.